Alright, finally getting the interior buttoned up in cabinets and storage. I'm going to link everything I used in the comments. Amazon affiliate now, so I'll get a couple cents if you like any of those latches or hinges that I got. Again, any questions, put them in the comments. It's more 80-20 stuff. I didn't like how this brown wood came out, so you'll see later I sanded all that down and painted it black and gray to match the floor. Very happy with the second try. That just sticks out too much, isn't annoying. And definitely not impressed with that Lagoon table mount that everyone loves. It's flimsy and cheesy. This is my first attempt at the doors. Didn't come out all that well, or too obnoxious and glossy. I have the layout down, and the height and the width of the table and everything's going to work out fine to get in and out of it easily. It's just the mount is just poor quality. I don't care for this Lagoon that everyone raves about. You see how flimsy it is right here. Yeah, that's no good, and that's tightened down all the way, mounted exactly how they told me to mount it. So not impressed with this whatsoever, especially for what it cost. I'll be probably doing a fixed mount. It's the only way I think I can get it secure enough. There's too much play in both of those pivots. You see right here, I'm moving it. That's just garbage. I don't know why people rave about these things so much. Still waiting on that window. Still haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do with that light switch near the door yet. It's a little tricky to do it cleanly because it sticks out so much. So here I'm basically mirroring the other side with the 80-20, and that's the vent for the airhead toilet. So far, super impressed with the toilet. The only downside of 80-20 is it takes so long to get when you order it, especially if they're cutting it for you. So this has been sitting at this state for about 2 weeks. They claim on their website how fast they ship and whatnot, but plan on 3 to 4 weeks. This is the second iteration. I like this a lot better. I stained the door to match the floor. Came out close enough. Digging that. Keurig right here is clutch. I love it. And this is black. I think it blends a lot better than the other brown wood. Yeah, I've tried everything to tighten up this table, and it just moves too much, and I don't care for it. This is eventually going to have a storage box in here. Just lift the cushions. This comes right up. That's going to be a storage box once I clean up and finalize all those wiring. I still have wiring to do. That's why I haven't finalized it yet. That's going to be a pull-out drawer right there with more storage. For the outside, I added the Baja Designs work lights that are at a 45-degree angle. So those are going to be my porch lights, or for safety lights. If I hear any noises or whatnot in the middle of the night, I'll just flash these on. They're pretty damn obnoxiously bright, so they'll work out exactly for my needs. So the final coat that I did for this is a mixture of the two of these. The aged barrel's great. It's a little light. The carbon gray is great, but it's a little dark. So I kind of laid down the carbon gray, sanded it, and then threw on the aged barrel. And I think these came out a lot better. This is not the final product. This is after the carbon gray was sanded. And then after that, I laid a coat of the aged barrel on. And it came out pretty good. Finally got the rest of my 80/20. The way this was assembled was different than the other side, so I'm going to redo the other side. I like this a lot better. It's one continuous piece of wood down the whole thing. It's 1/2 inch, but then we had to router the edges to 5/16 to fit into the 80/20. I'll show you that in a second here. Makes for a much cleaner finish. This is just a test fit. I took it all apart, and this is how you see right here. So the 1/2 inch is routed down to 5/16, and it fits in the 80/20 grooves perfect. This is the 15 series 80/20. So basically routed all the edges, and it fits in there perfectly. And once it's all buttoned up, it's super secure. So these are all the doors redone. It's with the carbon gray and the aged barrel. Definitely like this finish a lot better. It blends in with the floor nice. It's not as distracting. Adjustable tension hinges from 80/20 are great. Got plastic containers in there. So I mounted my furnace control here. Obviously that's going to be cleaned up later. That's my 12-volt charging thing. So both the furnace control and that are so they can easily be accessible from the bed or from while just standing in the camper. So that way I can get to everything whether I'm in bed or walking around the camper. I love these latches. They're nice and secure fit. I went with the 80/20 just because they include that little catch. Otherwise you have to fabricate one. It's a real pain in the butt. A little bit more expensive, but saves a ton of time trying to make your own catch, and they're super secure, and they're definitely not going to pop open. So that wiring is obviously going to be cleaned up, and that's where my heater control is going to be. I'm very happy with the finished product. So then up here, it's going to be a little access thing. That's where I'll be able to put my cell phone and charge whatever I need while I'm in bed. Be a charging port in there also. Yep, table still sucks. Still trying to figure out a table pedestal. They're either too small, too high. This is the next project. I'm trying to find out where I'm going to plumb the sink to drain out. Running into issues because below the floor here is where the subframe is. So I wouldn't be able to get through that without some shenanigans. So that's going to have to be plumbed back in the shower area. But for now I might just drain it into a bucket. Not 100% sure. That's the next project I'm working on. It's becoming way more of a pain in the butt than I expected. The sink makes for an excellent storage area, by the way. See, the one piece of wood is stained. And right here above the stove is going to be a piece of stainless above it. So in case I'm cooking anything, the splatter doesn't hit the wood or the finish. So I'm going to cover that with stainless. Those little black end caps from 80/20 also make it a lot cleaner finish. They just pop right on. So far everything's working great. uses curing at least a couple dozen times now. One thing here is the furnace. You see the tip, that's how the silencer comes. There's no filter, so basically that's the intake for the combustion chamber. So if it's dusty or whatever, all of that's going straight into your furnace. What I was able to do is find an intake filter. It's out of Germany from a company called Tiger, and right here it just mounts onto the end of the silencer. So now you have an air filter, so all your filtered air going into your combustion chamber is clean. So hopefully that's going to cut down on the maintenance. I'll put a link below to that in the comments as well, because it doesn't seem this is very common for some reason. I don't understand why. So the furnace is finally finished. This is the install intake furnace there. Then that's the exhaust. It's all wrapped, and then the muffler, and then the hull through fitting I found online. So I'm super happy with this. It's very clean. And in the next episode I'm going to finish up some wiring, do a little bit more woodworking to clean everything